2, 1, go!
Hello Nidorinas and Nidorinos, it is KingNido here, and today we are in the City of Lights as the Lumiose Lightning are hosting the Dooford Combats, and both these sides desperately need to get their season on track as we are past the halfway mark, with Magnezone and Electivire starting out for the home side. It's Mienshao and Machamp starting out for the guests, and Mienshao immediately with a water gun onto Electivire, who responds going for Machamp with a dual wing beat, and that is a super effective hit to start off this match. Fantastic for the electric types, getting both hits in there, and Magnezone going for the corrosive gas. This will burn up everybody's leopard berries on the field. Now both these sides are coming off victories, which is huge. We'll see today who can continue that momentum, as the nasty plot from Machamp is going to boost its special attack. It is more of a physical attacker though, as are most of the Dooford Combats, but that sludge from Mienshao onto Electivire, good hit, but Electivire now responding with a Brine, also a fantastic hit. Magnezone follows that up with a Night Slash onto Mienshao. Not very effective. Those dark types are not very effective on the fighting types whatsoever, as the Purified does fail. That's 2 fails in a row for the fighting types, but this gear grind from Electivire onto Machamp, another dual hitting move to take down Machamp out of this matchup. It only needed 2 hits out of that multi-hit move, but Machamp is eliminated. Magnezone is going to follow it up with a prismatic laser. This will be super effective. It is a huge play. The 2 fighting type Pokemon taken down in one turn. That is the start of the Lumiose Lightning 1. As Gallade comes out onto the field and will be joined by a Surfetch'd, Electivire immediately welcomes both Pokemon with an Electro Web. This will slow down both of them. It also had that stab boost from the electric type Pokemon. Gallade there having its speed low, but Magnezone having to recharge allows Gallade to go for the Fury Cutter, and Surfetch'd follows that up with the Aromatic Mist. This is going to give a boost here to Gallade, boosting that special defense. And Electivire, though, is going to go for an Aero Blast onto Gallade, and it is a massive, super effective, critical hit. The Psychic Fighting type is eliminated from this matchup already. Magnezone follows that up with a not very effective Bug Bite onto Surfetch'd, but does steal its Leopard Berry and proceeds to eat it. Magnezone just getting rid of all the Leopard Berries continuously on this field, but Surfetch'd with an Icicle Spear onto Electivire. This is a multi-hit move. This could get the job done here. It's got 2 hits. This third hit will take Electivire down. That is fantastic for the Dooford Combats. Electivire having a fantastic season when it has appeared so far. Luxray now comes out for the Lumiose Lightning, and Poliwrath coming out for the Dooford Combats. Poliwrath immediately goes for the reversal. That will be super effective on Magnezone. Would have been stronger if it actually had something to reverse that, but Luxray immediately going with the final gambit. Gets the elimination of Surfetch'd, but Luxray takes itself out as well. That is 4 Pokemon though that are already down for the Dooford Combats. Huge advantage on the side of the Lumiose Lightning as a Shadow Bone from Magnezone onto Poliwrath. Good hit there, and Rotom Wash coming out now for the Lumiose Lightning. Kommo coming out for the Dooford Combats, and Rotom immediately with the Icy Wind hits both fighting types, but that's super effective on Kommo, who is part Dragon type. Unfortunately not very effective on Poliwrath, however, but it does lower both fighting types Pokemon's speed stats here, allowing Magnezone to go for a Fissure, but Poliwrath does avoid that move, and Kommo with the Defog now. That is going to lower the evasiveness stat of Magnezone, make it an easier target, and now Poliwrath follows that up with the Charm, putting that Smooth Talk onto Rotom to lower its attack stat greatly, as the Meteor Mash is avoided by Poliwrath from Rotom, and the Brine, Poliwrath with that Water Absorb ability will get its health restored. That is a fantastic time for the combats, as Kommo with the Super Fang is going to cut Rotom's health in half, and the Endeavor does fail from Poliwrath, as that Liquidation, again the Water Absorb from Poliwrath. This is actually going to get it back to full strength. That ability coming in clutch, as Magnezone now with the Inferno on the Water Fighting type. This won't be very effective due to that Water typing. Poliwrath, however, has been left with the burn status condition, and Kommo going for the rollout. This won't be very effective on Magnezone, doing very little damage. Poliwrath going for the Power Split now, targeting Rotom with that, so that does share its power there, as Poliwrath does take that damage from the burn that it received, as Rotom now with the Grassy Glide goes for Kommo. Doesn't go for the super effective hit on Poliwrath, but Magnezone with the Bolt Beak. This goes for Kommo as well. They're not going for Poliwrath instead, getting not very effective hits on the Pseudo Legendary, who continues its rollout onto Magnezone, still doing very little damage. It does get stronger every time. That Veno Shock from Poliwrath won't affect the Steel-type Magnezone though, as Rotom with the Stuffed Cheeks, it is going to give itself a defense boost, eating that Leopard Berry there. It's also going to restore its PP. Magnezone though with the Parting Shot onto Poliwrath. This will lower Poliwrath's attack, that physical attack and special attack. But Magnezone goes back to the bench. It is still in this matchup. It's been in the whole time as Arctozolt now comes out. And Arctozolt's going to get hit with this rollout. This will be super effective. This is very risky, but Arctozolt holds on, but a massive hit there. Poliwrath goes for the Pollen Puff onto Rotom instead of finishing off Arctozolt here, but that was still a really good hit as Poliwrath still suffers from that burn. Rotom going for the Avalanche, super effective there on Komodo, but that move is stronger after the Pokemon takes damage. The Horn Drill though, Komodo avoids that and goes for the rollout onto Arctozolt and gets the easy elimination with that second super effective hit in a row of the Fossil Pokemon. Poliwrath now going for the superpower onto Rotom. Very little damage, but the Dooford Combats are actually holding their own now in this matchup since Poliwrath and Komodo came out onto the field, and Poliwrath is still suffering from that burn as Magnezone comes back out and immediately goes Rotom goes for the Corrosive Gas. We saw this earlier, so all those Leopard Berries are going to be corroded away due to that Corrosive Gas, but Magnezone with the super effective peck onto Komodo, who holds on. This should allow it to get that last and strongest rollout onto Magnezone and gets the elimination, even though it wasn't very effective. All that momentum built up, and it is now a 2 versus 2 match as Poliwrath with the Magic Room. This is going to change the effects where all held items lose their effect. And Poliwrath again still suffering from that burn, but it's now a 2 versus 2 battle. The combats have worked their way back in this as Vikavolt comes out on the field, and Rotom with a Roost at a very important time in this matchup. It is going to restore its health. That is fantastic for the Lightning. As Komodo going for the Haze. Dooford Combats definitely should have taken out Rotom earlier as all stat changes are eliminated. And the Bone Rush would be super effective, but both electric type Pokemon have the Levitate ability as an arm thrust from Vikavolt. The first one gets a critical hit. This is a multi-hit move. It gets 2. It's going to want to get all 5. It's got 3. It's got 4. It will be a 5-time connection there by Vikavolt. That is fantastic. And that burn follows it up. Poliwrath has suddenly become a very easy target here. Rotom could finish it off going for the Guillotine, but Komodo avoids that one-hit KO move. There's been 3 attempts for one-hit KOs as the Scale Shot. Rotom avoids that from Poliwrath, but Vikavolt now with the Sleep Powder will put the Pseudo Legendary to sleep. It is such an easy target. Both Poliwrath and Komodo, the Lightning, have the advantage, and there's that burn, but Poliwrath can still hold on. And now we have Rotom going for the Electro Web. This will hit both fighting type Pokemon and gets its own huge play. A double elimination there by Rotom, giving the victory to the Luminous Lightning. That is their 3rd win in a row. They are really building some momentum now, and that is exactly what they need as we are in this last half of the season. The Dooford Combats unfortunately will lose this matchup and will go to 17th place on the leaderboard, but their next matchup will be a huge challenge against the 2nd place Heart Home Haunts, whereas our very next matchup will be the Lumiose Lightning trying to beat the Shimuda Keepers, and both these sides have won their last 3 games, so whoever wins this will end the winning streak of the other team, but get their 4th victory in a row as the Shimuda Keepers try to get their way back into the Elite Four. Lumiose Lightning again trying to build that momentum, but until then, Nidorinas and Nidorinos, thank you so much for watching. Let us know in the comments below who you thought was the best on field, and if you enjoyed what you saw, please leave a like, share, subscribe, but more importantly, always remember, you are awesome, and I'll see you when you see me.